She was buttering me up the whole time because we were just, you know, talking, and she was just so nice that I was returning the favor. I was being nice to her, not knowing she was Joanne, a scammer, scamming my whole life right now. Y'all, I wanted to wear these glasses, but clearly the lights ain't having it. They cute too, look. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today I will be talking about my first job. Also, if you would like to check out my other story times, the playlist will be linked down below, and it's a bunch of embarrassing, crazy stories in there. I have a slight headache going on, so hopefully that doesn't affect my energy in the video. If not, I'm just not ever gonna post this. But before we begin, I would love for everyone to leave a big thumbs up for story time. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. So without further ado, let's get into this video. If you notice, in all my story times, I never name any names. I try not to even leave any like details that will point you toward anyone I'm talking about, because you know, I just want to tell my story, and other people didn't sign up to get on YouTube and for me to talk about them and for everybody to know their business and stuff like that. So for that purpose, I'm going to tell you like the general job that it was, but I'm not going to tell you like the name of the place, where it's located, how old I was when I was working there, or even the names of the people that worked with me, just to keep everything anonymous, because I don't hate anybody that's associated with this story. I'm kind of like over the whole situation. I just thought it would be a good story to tell. Okay, so I was at the point in my life that I needed a job because I was broke and I wanted money to spend. So see, this is where it gets difficult because I don't want to say any names. So I'm just gonna rename the girl Amy. So Amy told me about this job, and she had me come up there and apply for it, and I ended up getting it. They must have really needed somebody to work there because I had no work experience whatsoever. I'm actually grateful they gave me a chance because I really didn't need the money at the time. So yes, I became the cashier, but that was not the only thing in my job description, but I'll get to that. I did not catch on very easily. I mean, I don't know if I'm just slow, but it was kind of difficult for me to pick up on at first. I kept making a bunch of mistakes. I'm gonna rename the manager's name Erica. So Erica was like the head manager. She basically taught me everything that I need to know about the job. She had to stand there most of the time, and like I know she got tired of standing there watching me mess up over and over with the cash register. Even though she kind of like comes off a little harsh, she had patience with me, and she kind of like I would mess up a lot, but she would just be like, no, you do it like this, no, you do it like this. I had never had a bad experience with Erica. She was cool to me, and she never really treated me any kind of way, but a lot of other people that worked there and people that came in always claimed she had an attitude or this or that, but me myself, I never experienced that. So I'm the type of person that just because everybody else feels some type of way, like my friend Amy that was working there, she loved Erica and she loved the other manager that was working there. They were actually really cool, but the other people that was working there, you know, they didn't really like her. So I just it's like it was a tug of war all the time with who liked who. Okay, along with being a cashier, my boss wanted us to watch the people in the store. It's like an elevated platform that you're standing on with all the hair behind you, and like, you know, you work the cashier, and then when there's someone in the store, you had to watch them while they were in the store. Even if it was like one person, you had to sit there at the camera clicking through all the different cameras, watching people. Like I felt like a total creep working that job. Like I understand that was like, you know, I guess necessary because, you know, people did steal a lot, but I still felt like a total creep. If he thought you were not actively watching a person in there, he would call you and be like, watch those people in there. And it's like, oh my goodness, like not only were you watching these people, but he was in the back watching you watch these people. Like it was so creepy. And not only that, he had like a walkie-talkie or a baby monitor sitting right next to the camera so he could hear our conversations. He could totally hear what we were talking about, and it was like, it was just really weird. I know the boss wants to know what's going on, but the fact that he had his eyes and ears just right there all the time, like, crazy. The job itself, like me working the cash register and, you know, helping people pick out hair and, you know, sweeping up from time to time, it was actually not a bad job. The people that came in, that's what made the job ratchet. If the ratchet people didn't come in there all the time, the job would have been really cool. But the fact that ratchet people come in all the time, like, if you buy like some track hair, you can't buy it, take it out of the package, and then think you're just gonna bring it back and return it. You're not gonna get your money back anyway. You're just gonna get like a gift card with your money back on it, even if you return something. But you can't return hair and you can't return wigs. That was like the #1 rule. And people were always trying to come in and return their hair. Like, returning hair is like returning draws or returning, I don't know, you just can't do it. It's something you just don't do. And they will always try to return their hair. Like, ew, don't nobody want nothing that you done opened up and possibly put in your head. Now you want to return it. No. I had never dealt with that type of person that was irate and you couldn't reason with them. That's where I learned that I can be professional when I need to be professional. I only kind of got out of my character like a couple of times because people were really pushing me out of my character. But for the most part, if you come up to me and you're really like, I'm just like, okay, well, we told you this and this and this. I can refer you to my manager. And that's another thing. People always will run to Erica as if I was gonna get fired. Like, this is just, she gonna just tell you the same thing I'm telling you.
Well, where's your manager? I need to go talk to her. I can't talk to you.
Go talk to her, because she gonna bring down that hammer worse than I am. So you might as well go. I want you to go talk to her, okay? I knew it wasn't me because people would come in and tell me all the time, oh, you're the nicest person that's ever worked here. You just have the nicest attitude. You're not rude. You're not mean. You just, you know, they will always give me so many compliments coming in here. And I would just be like, I'm just being myself. I'm not being, you know, I wasn't overly trying to do anything. It's just, you know, that was just me. So I was kind of shocked that people were saying that all the time. I think I would work from 4 to 8 or 9 every single day. And that included 2 Sundays out of a month. My schedule was like a everyday thing. And I was in school and working every single day. But even though I was kind of like feeling like that was too much, them checks was looking good. I was getting paid bi-weekly too, so I ain't gonna lie, them checks made me feel better every 2 weeks. And so I would be over the job, and then as soon as I got my check, I'd be like, with this money though, okay? Plus I needed the money. I was okay with the job, but there were 2 major events that made me just open my eyes up and showed me this job is not for you. Quit, okay? The first thing that happened, so like I told you, I was a brand new cashier. Like, I had been working there for a little bit, but I still, you know, didn't know everything about being a cashier. You know, this is my first time ever doing it. So my manager, Erica, she would always leave like 2 hours before we closed, and I would always work up until closing. So one day this girl came in. You the only one I really can't stand in this story. Whoever you are, I don't know your name. She's some girl who claims she was from California. Like, when she was coming in, she was asking about different hair. She was looking for some virgin hair and looking for this and for that. Like, really, she was buying up the entire store. She didn't look like she had money like that. Her weave was jacked. Like, her hair looked like my hair with some straight tracks. Okay, the hair was not blending at all. So she had platinum blonde tracks, and then she had her natural hair that was dyed platinum blonde on top, but it was not blending. It basically looked like my hair on top of some tracks. Anyway, because her leave out was not straight at all. And just everything about her screamed cheap. Jewelry and everything. She didn't look like she had the money like that, but it was plenty of people that came in the store that didn't look like they had money, but they would spend a lot. So, you know, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. I'm judging you now because of what you did. She comes in, you know, buying up the whole store. She's looking for the virgin hair. Yeah, I need 3 bundles because this and this and that. I'm like, I'm hoping that you replacing whatever you got in your head and you're actually gonna straighten your hair. So I swipe her credit card. Her credit card doesn't go through. And so she was like, oh, you sure? And I'm like, this has happened before. This has happened to me. I don't like to make a big scene when people's credit cards don't go through, because that's really embarrassing. So I was like, yeah, your card didn't go through. I'm sorry. Do you have another card, or do you have, you know, cash? Like, do you have another way you want to pay? She was like, no, that card should work. I have money on it. And I'm like, but it didn't go through. So I tried swiping it again. I tried swiping it 3 times. 3 times. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how come my boss didn't stop me? How come, since you like to listen and watch everything, how come you didn't call me and check on this situation? Anyway, she was like, well, why don't you type the credit card number in? And I thought nothing of it, because like I said, I had never worked a cash register before. I had no idea that typing it in would be like a scamming type of situation. I just thought, you know, oh, that's just another way to enter the credit card. It ended up going through. And my thing is, how did it end up going through when I typed it in, but not when I swiped it? That's something that still messes with me to this day. But anyway, it went through. And so, you know, she like super excited, like overly excited. I should have known something right there. She was so excited. She was buttering me up the whole time, because we were just, you know, talking, and she was just so nice that I was returning the favor. I was being nice to her, not knowing she was Joanne, a scammer, scamming my whole life right now. Okay, she bought over $400 worth of hair products, lip gloss, mascara, you know, anything you can think of that a beauty supply store sells, she bought it. You name it, she bought it. She was balling like Jim Jones. I think a week or 2 went by, and the next thing I know, I walk into work and Erica pulls me to the side like it's just like a major disaster just happened. Like, she pulled me to the side like I was about to get fired. That's how I felt. I felt like, oh my goodness, like what did I do? Like, I was so nervous. And she pulled me to the side in the back. She showed me a paper. She was like, do you remember selling these items to somebody on this date? And I'm like, people come in and out of this place so much every day. Like, how am I supposed to remember? No, I didn't. And so she was like, well, because I typed it in, it went through, but not really. The computer said it went through, but it didn't really go through. So basically, it's like I gave away the money. Is the way they presented it to me, which I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so. I feel like that wasn't my fault whatsoever. Just because I typed it in, no one ever told me I couldn't type it in. So how is that my fault? Like, leave it down below if you think that was my fault. If you really think it was my fault, you can leave that down below. But honestly, I feel like that was not my fault. I didn't know. Guess who check that came out of? Guess who lost over $400 out of her check? No, they didn't take it out of one single check. They took it out, they spread it out over my next few checks. But I should have quit. I should have quit right then. Why didn't I quit right then? Everybody around me told me I should have quit. Like, my roommates told me, my grandma told me, everybody I talked to about it, they was like, you need to quit, because they should have had your back on that. Like, that shouldn't have came out of your check. Like, especially not the whole thing. Like, really? They completely put the blame on me, and I had to pay the price. So that left a bad taste in my mouth. I did not quit, because honestly, I did need the money, so I kept working there. Anyway, guys, that's it for my story time. You can check out my other story times. The playlist will be linked down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.